Hi, this is Ron with Amazing Mile Marker Stops. We're getting ready to leave Sanford and start heading slowly back up north. But before we started, I wanted to give a shout out to my granddaughter Tori. She's been kind of giving me tips on how to do social media a little bit better. Us old fogies don't always know how to do it, so she's been helping me out. And she gave me some recommendations for better filming. And so, taking her recommendations to heart, I went out and I've been using my iPhone to film all this stuff on up to date, but based on her recommendations, I went out and purchased a new system. So Tori, this is my new camera system. It's a Canon EOS M50. And I took your suggestion and got me a selfie stick that also doubles as a tripod. It's a mirrorless camera with a directional mic that also muffles out the sound for all those of you who have listened to or should I say suffered through the videos where the wind was whipping up. Maybe doing it right now, I don't know. But I did some research online, and this seemed to be a highly recommended camera for doing YouTube vlogs, and so I got it, and we're going to try it out and see how it works today, and hopefully it'll be a big improvement. So we'll see how it goes. So here's what it looks like with the new camera, and hopefully it sounds good as well. We're going to take off and start heading towards Astor. That's our destination. We'll film a few things along the way for you and see how we do with this new camera. So check it out. Alright, so that first clip was of some jet skis that went by. I caught that on the new camera so you could see the quality of the film. Unfortunately, they kind of caught me off guard and I forgot to say anything, so just enjoy the view. It was a pretty view, and so I hope you enjoy it. This next clip is going to be not so good. I wanted to get a video of us going underneath a bridge. The bridges that have to open for us are getting fewer and fewer, in part because we've lowered our height. We changed our mast out at one point and made it lower. Also because they're replacing the bridges with higher and higher bridges. But I wanted you to see it. It's kind of cool, especially the first time you go through a bridge. And unfortunately, this is the only bridge that we had to have open on this entire trip. And so when I re-looked at the video that was shot, well, what can I say? The problem was me getting used to this new camera. I thought I had it on autofocus. I gave it to Marie and I said, just point at me, just video it, look at the bridge, and it's autofocus, you don't have to worry about it. And she took the camera, we went into the scene, and lo and behold, I had it on manual focus. So she did her best to try to keep it focused as she went back and forth between me and the bridge and zooming in and out. And she was a trooper trying to keep up with it, but just trying to get used to the new camera. And hopefully we'll do better in the future. But I wanted to put it up here for y'all to see anyway, because I don't know when it'll be in the future before I get to go underneath another bridge for y'all to look at. So even though it's bad video in and out of focus, I hope you enjoy the scene anyway. We're coming up to a bridge. It's the Whitehair Bridge, and it's a drawbridge. It has to open for us. It's only 15 foot underneath it when it's closed, and we are 21 foot up in the air. So we have to ask for it to open. There's very few of these left, unless you get down around the Fort Lauderdale area. Georgia only has one drawbridge, so I kind of wanted to show you how the process goes. First, I have to call the bridge and ask them to open. Whitehair Bridge, this is Elixir requesting a northbound opening, over. Copy that. All right, they responded. You could barely hear them on the radio, but they responded and said that they're going to open. At this point, it kind of becomes a game of, I don't know, cards, Texas Hold'em, or whatever you want to call it, because the bridge doesn't want to open until we get close enough, because he's going to hold all the traffic up for us. But on the other hand, we don't want to get too close until he opens, because it's hard for us to keep the boat in one spot.
Attention, attention. White Hare Bridge is preparing to open. Requesting vessels, please remain outside the fenders until the bridge is fully raised. Thank you.
All right, don't know if you heard that, but that was him announcing to any other boats. You hear the horn, that's for boats in the area as well as the cars. And now he's going to start dropping the gates down to stop the traffic. I can already see them stopping. And in a minute he'll start opening the bridge. As I said, I've got to get close enough to make him happy, but I don't want to get too close, especially if you're in an area with strong currents. This isn't. St. Johns River is a very slow moving river. But out on the ICW, where the currents can be moving at 4 knots sometimes, you don't want to get too close to that bridge before it opens, because if you have to stop, you could get sideways and go against the pilings of the bridge. All the cars have stopped on both sides. He stopped ringing his bell, which means he's about to open the bridge. Now once he opens the bridge, we can't go through until it's completely open. So again, it's this kind of game between the two of us to, there it goes. You can see the bridge opening. Some bridges have lights that turn green, or they're red when you're not supposed to go through them, and once he's fully open, then they turn green, lets you know you can go on through. I don't know if this guy does. I see some lights off to the sides on the fenders, but they're not lit up, so. Start getting up there. They don't like to keep the gate open any longer than they have to, because they're holding traffic up. So you want to kind of time it to where just as he's all the way open, you're there ready to go under. All right, I heard him lock, so we're going through. You have to go at a slow speed. You can't go through fast. It's another balancing factor. Bridge tender waving to us. They're usually pretty nice people as long as you work with them. And then once you clear the bridge, it's polite to let them know. White Hare Bridge, this is Elixir. Clear the bridge. Thanks for the opening.
You're welcome, Captain.
And that's it.
Caution, caution, caution. White Hare Bridge spans are now lowering.
That's how you get through a drawbridge. It's kind of fun the first time you experience it, and the whole world stops for you, and after that it just becomes kind of routine. But I wanted y'all to see what it was like. We're coming up on Blue Springs Park. Blue Springs is I think it's a state park, but it's a place you can't take your boat. You can only go up in there with non-motorized boats, like kayaks or canoes. And there's no place to park your boat here, but you can anchor and dinghy over. There are little bits of shore, as you can see, that you can pull up to and beach your boat. Probably the more likely scenario. Tie off to one of those trees. and then walk up into the park. The reason you're not allowed to take a motorized boat up into Blue Springs is because it's kind of a haven for manatees. The spring stays at a constant 72 degrees year round. So particularly during the winter time, the manatees come up in here, and they go up into the spring, which is actually in front of that pontoon boat you're seeing right now, where all those orange balls are located. That keeps us boats from going up in there accidentally. And Marie's at the helm. She's going to kind of get us a little close to those orange balls so I can get a good view up the spring for you. But because it stays at a 72 degrees, the manatees come up in here to stay warm during the winter. During the summertime, they actually most of them head up north and go out into the salty or the intercoastal areas and feed. It's my understanding that the manatees will stay like a year out in that salt water, yet they need the fresh water to drink, and somehow they can go for long periods of time like that without any fresh water to drink. When they're up in these rivers, of course, then they got all the fresh water they want. So that's the spring. If you go far enough up in there, you get to the source of it where it's coming out of the ground, and it's really crystal clear. So especially if you got a kayak on your boat or a canoe, if not, they rent them here. Come on down, drop anchor somewhere, and come explore Blue Springs. Well, we pulled into Astor at the Blackwater Inn, and it's a pretty cool restaurant. We're gonna go in and get something to eat, but they let you dock here for free if you're just coming in to eat. If you want to stay overnight, as long as you come in and have something to eat, they'll charge you $24 to stay overnight, and that includes electric and water. So it's a pretty good deal. Looks to be a pretty good restaurant. Everybody talks highly of it, so we're gonna go and enjoy it. I'll get a picture while I'm in there because there are big glass windows, and I'm sure you can see our boat, and I'll put that picture up on Facebook for anybody who wants to go look at it. We always enjoy sitting in restaurants and looking out at our boat sitting there parked right there, so it's pretty cool to us. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. Hope you've enjoyed our new camera. As you've seen, we've got some quirks to work out, but we'll get through those and we'll get better and better at it and make these more and more enjoyable for you. So tell your friends about it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Flip over to our website at AmazingMileMarkerStops.com and like us on Facebook. And remember, don't just cruise, visit Amazing Mile Marker Stops.